Once upon a time in the land of Israel there was a young shepherd boy named David. David was brave, kind, and had a heart full of love for God. He lived with his father Jesse and his brothers, spending most of his days out in the fields tending to sheep. Many years before David was chosen, Israel had a king named Saul. Saul started out as a good king, but over time he stopped following God's ways. One day, while David was still a shepherd, a terrible giant named Goliath was threatening the Israelite army. This victory made David a hero, and King Saul invited him to live in the palace. David soon became very close friends with Saul's son Jonathan. But as David became more popular, Saul grew jealous. One day, while David was playing music for him, Saul threw a spear at him, trying to kill him. From that day on, David had to flee and hide in caves, mountains, and deserts to escape Saul's wrath. But even though Saul wanted to harm David, David never wanted to hurt Saul. Saul was moved to tears and told David, "You are more righteous than I." The second time, Saul and his men were sleeping in a camp, and David and his friend Abishai sneaked into the camp at night. David and Abishai took Saul's spear and water jug, but left Saul unharmed. When David heard the news, he was heartbroken. Now, with Saul gone, the people of Israel came to David and asked him to be their king. David ruled with kindness, wisdom, and a heart that always wanted to follow God. He brought peace to the land and led the people in worshipping God. And so David, the shepherd boy who trusted God in all things, became King David, the greatest king Israel ever had. Through all his trials, David remained faithful, and God blessed him as a leader who would always be remembered. Even today, we talk about David not just because he was a great king, but because he had a heart after God's own heart. That's the story of how David became king, a story of bravery, friendship, forgiveness, and most of all, trusting in God's perfect timing. And so, dear friends, may we remember this wonderful story as we grow and learn to trust in God too. Just like David, we can be brave, kind, and always ready to help our friends. Let's share our own stories of kindness and bravery, just like King David did. And always remember, just like David, we can trust that God has great plans for each of us. So let's celebrate the amazing adventures of David and carry his spirit of bravery and love in our hearts. Together we can make our world a better place, just like King David did for his people. And always remember, kindness and friendship can change the world around us as we follow in David's footsteps. Let's keep telling the story of David, sharing his lessons of courage, love, and faith for all to hear. And as we learn and grow, may we always remember the heart of David, a heart that trusts in God. Let's share our own bravery stories and celebrate the heart of kindness that David showed throughout his life. As we gather together, let's cherish our friendships just like David and Jonathan did. And remember, every act of kindness brings us closer together, just like in David's story. Let's keep the spirit of David alive by spreading joy, love, and courage wherever we go. And as we tell our stories, may we inspire others to be brave and kind like David. Together, let's create a world of friendship and love following the wonderful example set by David. And may each celebration remind us of the joy in being kind and brave, just like our friend King David. Let's plant the seeds of kindness and watch them grow, just like David's heart full of love for everyone. As every new day begins, let's remember to be brave, share love, and trust in God, just as David did. And together, we will spark the light of bravery and friendship in our hearts and in our community. Let's enjoy every moment creating joyful memories that remind us of David's story and the values it teaches. Through our creativity and teamwork, we can share the amazing story of David with everyone. And as we share these stories, we keep David's spirit alive in our hearts and minds. Let's celebrate our friendships and inspire each other with the bravery and kindness that David showed. Together, we can create and share art that reflects the wonderful lessons from King David's life. And by sharing our art and stories, we inspire each other to be brave and loving, just like David. Let's keep the spirit of celebration alive as we honor bravery, kindness, and the love that David taught us all. And remember, every moment we share in friendship builds a strong community just like David did for his people. Let's cherish the wisdom and stories of the past so we can learn from David and grow together. As we gather to share meals and play, let's embrace the lessons of kindness and bravery from David's story. Together, let's celebrate the joy of friendship just like David and Jonathan did. And as we create these special tokens of friendship, let's remember to always support and love one another.